What do you think about that little jingle?
I think I like that more.
This more?
Yeah, because it's welcoming.
Right. It just picks me up. Like I literally will be in here just kind of.
No, it's a nice little beat.
I mean, I do feel like this is trended for Unmuzzled. So just kicking things off, it's just like, welcome to Unmuzzled Chat. This is a what should we call this? This is just
Testing.
Testing number 2. No, this is off the cuff. There's no show notes to this.
There you go. That's what it was. Show notes.
My good friend here, Jesus, which I often reference to Jesus at times, but I just asked you off air if that bothered you.
No, I don't think so.
It's just a cool name.
Yeah, but there's a lot of. Sometimes it feels like the names be like Jesus is our Jesus, right? Like it's like taking that name for granted. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's never bothered me, but at the same time, it's like I don't want to disrespect.
I could get that. Puts pressure. You want to be a good example.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was real cool because I actually been pushing to have you on the show for a while now, and I'm really excited to do official because you're just an awesome guy. Like, genuine as they come. You wear your heart on your sleeve, and you're not afraid to have, like, a lot of the conversations men just aren't having.
You know what? I appreciate that, but I love you, dude. Because, well, I mean, the thing is, you're saying all this, but it's the same with you. Like, I'm happy to actually have a very, I don't even know what to say. It's easy to go and talk to someone that's open, has his heart on his sleeves, goes in and like expresses himself, is not scared of like what they have to say and not care what anybody else thinks.
Right. But yeah, it was interesting. Well, I'm on board with that, dude. That's what's cool. We can just be open, vulnerable. It's pretty refreshing to have like those kind of conversations and challenge each other and add input and just like right.
Well, here's the thing. So, do you? I think everybody has like insecurities.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
But do you self-doubt yourself a lot?
Man, especially with this, I've had to kick doubt in the face daily. You know, it's been a challenge because I obviously there's a reason why up to this point I haven't really lived a crazy life on social medias or anything. I refrain from that. I tend to typically live in the realm of reality. And even to my detriment, I could see the benefit to social medias, but I could see the negative impacts it was having on people as well.
I think the negative takes over the good. I think it's so overwhelming with so much information that it's a distraction from reality.
Right.
Like you, I don't get on social media I mean, I have it, but I never touch it because again, it's a distraction. It doesn't there's facades on there.
Right.
And
I feel humanity hasn't even adapted fully to the impact social media has had. Like it's come on so quick on such a big level, like this information age. I mean, there's evil geniuses behind things, even that like button, right? Where that wasn't an accident. It feeds into scientifically proven how it has this like endorphin addiction type snare to it.
It hits your dopamine.
Right.
So
right.
Like so the CEOs and owners of these companies have their own them with their kids. They have restrictions for them. But for us it's a business. And the thing is it's like it's an addiction that we don't know how to take care of, or we don't know how to handle. Just like anything else, it hits our dopamine receptors, and we have to have more, like those likes you said.
Right.
And I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think it's a very aside from looking at everybody else's business, what and networking. I mean, there are some positives, like you said, but what do you think? How well do you think it helps out a lot? I mean, how much time do you think you spend on social media, or someone actually does? Because I actually get addicted to YouTube. I'm watching
Oh yeah.
videos over and over and over,
Right.
and the times pass by, and I'm like, you know what? I could have done something productive with this time.
Right. Yeah, there's an ingenious like algorithm and whether it's AI or what have you, but yeah, as far as it just knows and it gathers, especially when you profile, that's actually where I kind of sign out to where it doesn't know me
Right.
sometimes to where I can really focus on things. But even then, man, there's these catchy because I love fail videos, funny videos, like good videos, like oh my gosh, people are awesome, charitable videos and such.
And you're right. And you're right. You have to have a good balance and moderation.
Right.
But just like everybody else, I was addicted to it before. Like I just like we're in the time when we had MySpace. I
Mm-hmm.
was into
Mm-hmm.
Facebook a lot and Instagram, and then when I cut those out, I want to say my life turned around to be much more pleasant.
Mm.
So it's not a bash on anybody else that wants to use it, and but the thing is moderation is like the key.
Right.
And they don't have instructions on that. I mean, alcohol, hey, moderation.
Right.
Smoking, like they give you the cons to that, but they're not really promoting the cons to this or social media because it's a moneymaker. It's a bigger moneymaker than anything else.
Right. Yeah, we're just in the beginning phases of even I think honing in on understanding all that and being able to grasp it and kind of educate our younglings about it and everything. It's where it's like I think we right now are the guinea pigs of this information age. Man, how cool is this? You just came over. You're like, I want to check out the digs. You came over on your cool electric bike, and we just kicked it off. Man, do you need something to drink? We got water. We got some of these Izzy's and suches.
Let me have one of those Izzy's, I guess.
Yeah, what
Yeah, sure. What that works.
sweet.
Awesome, thank you.
But yeah, it was interesting cuz you were like just we were kind of just talking about Unmuzzled a bit, how it came about, what it's about, like even a direction. So even to have like this moment for a second to kind of let people know we're literally we just dove in. So there really hasn't been an infrastructure up to this point. Obviously, we are all about like helping. It'd be nice. We'll probably work on some mission statements or what have you, but it's essentially trying to ensure a better tomorrow, right, for the world. The world's bleeding. How do we help with that? And it's so bad that it's just like we can't chillax on this content. Now, I don't want to commit to something really potentially daily, not knowing whether it's something I personally, because I got to keep a level of healthy balance. But so we'll see if we can get it structured to where I start building up a pool of content to where we can schedule it and come out with something regimented like daily, maybe even a specific time. But as it stands right now, we're just figuring it out. But given the world bleeding, it's like we're in it, sink or swim. So I'm gonna be coming out. I'm gonna try to have stuff daily. We'll just see where we land, you know.
Yeah, again, I mean, it's new, and I think you can develop a lot off like what you're doing right now. So yeah, I mean, you're the pro right now. So
Bah, sure. But we're gonna do something fun and off the cuff, like because I didn't even fully explain it. But our partner, Black Eagle Apparel, actually sent on the last order some free merch to us here Unmuzzled. Alec, shout out. Thank you, brother. We love it. Now, I want to pay it forward. I want to give this away to one of our listeners. And my thought process is let's give this hat away this next week. Okay, it's really cool. It says I pledge the second American flag. It's got a cool rifle right there, camo, nice little snapback. And I think how we'll do this, I'll give this away. We'll choose a winner. In fact, the winner is going to be the winner. I'll set the terms. I think the terms over this next week, out of all the content a muzzle's going to produce, at random, at one point in one of our videos, we're essentially going to say, now's the giveaway, and we're going to give you a word to put in the comments below the video.
So, question.
Yeah.
So, here's an idea. And this is just an idea, but what if you ask a question from all your videos, and if they're able to answer that question?
You know, you guys could start commenting on things like this too. What would be fun? Because it's all about community. I want to have fun. Let's all have fun together. I like that. Yeah, we can maybe do a quiz giveaway. I think for this one, let's just keep it really simple, where I'm going to do a call out over at some random undetermined time and creation of content that's going to be sent out this next week, where we're going to essentially pull out this hat and we're going to say, all right, you need to put this phrase in the comments, and the first one that puts that phrase in the comments gets this hat. And we'll just keep it simple. At that point, a muzzle will say, declare the winner, being the first one. Pretty simple stuff. And you could email your credentials so we could ship it out to you. I mean, shoot, if you're here locally, maybe you'll get a personal delivery from me. We'll see. But what do you think? That'd be fun.
I think that's awesome.
And then now I got you hooked. No, because a lot of people, I mean, it's interesting. I was even having a chat with my brother earlier today where he was like, bro, I just did a long drive and now I feel guilty. I didn't even think to listen to some of your content till after I arrived. He just isn't, in all the grace in the world, brother, you're cool. It's cool. To me, it was interesting. I started utilizing this technology, and maybe it was just because I did a lot of Lone Ranger contract work throughout all the years, where I found, instead of just listening to freaking Pandora, which, oh, don't get me started. I'm really upset about a commercial I keep freaking hearing. So let's try to circle back to that after this story.
Right.
But so I kind of got sick of that, so I started doing self-improvements with like Audible, right? And I think I got over 70 something titles on Audible, so you get like 1 credit a month. So it goes to show how many years just diving in all that. And let's just plug God there, because all that pursuit, all that time, all that energy was surpassed with flying colors really quickly with my spiritual pursuit. Kind of interesting. But that's me personally, and we've obviously dove into that quite a bit on content. But to get to the point with my brother, it was like it shifted for me from Audible, like being used to taking in content with my own ears, to podcasts, right?
Right.
So Joe Rogan for quite a long time. I mean, I think some people might even be like, oh, what are you going for? Knock off Joe Rogan or what have you? It's like, no, in fact, I'd like to surpass that man in a way. Because I think a lot of what he's got going on is just self-serving, right? I mean, he brings on some heavy hitters here and there, but he's not really bringing the big ones on, like all these other patriots.
Well, I think he started just by going ahead and, like you said, he wanted to self-serve. He was trying to get information. He found these people fascinating. He found these people fascinating.
Right.
Everybody else tuned in because they found the same thing. And he's educating himself through those battles.
Don't get me wrong. Like, there's some beauty to an extent with that. With on this platform, like, we do need to have the healthy balance, and I think it would be refreshing to touch on some, like, I ride dirt bikes. I like to hunt, and I got a lot of dirt biker hunter guys that would love to come on and just chat. So I think to a degree, it'd be refreshing to have some of that content produced as well. But for the most part, though, for Unmuzzled, I want there to be a direction and intention, right? And the intention is to ensure a better tomorrow, and that's through helping others.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get lost with just that.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's getting lost though. I think
Right.
all right, so with all the for Joe Rogan, for all those people that come in and do the podcast with him. So again, it's very relatable. So even though he had some guys that might be kind of boring or like more based on science or whatever, it still goes ahead and intrigues someone.
Right.
And so, I mean, whatever little nugget that you can get from those people, from anything, I mean, it's information that you're absorbing, right?
Right.
So at the same time, you're learning someone else's sense of thinking or hobbies, whatever, something that you might actually want to go and do later on in the future, might find interest in. But you're right. I mean, and that's, I think, by doing that and getting meet people that you don't even agree with.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, that challenges you. Second of all, that helps you understand their perspective.
Yeah.
So like that, hopefully, instead of actually arguing, everybody
Yes.
can come in the middle,
Yes.
and it's compromising.
Guys, this the whole chat after Unmuzzled, it just isn't a cute. Yeah. No, there's meaning. There's intention even behind chat. And it's this, it's a conversation. You know, anybody, even myself included, the point, I get all emotional and I start acting, lashing out of anger. This becomes a one-way street. It doesn't matter where I'm coming from, what argument I'm trying to make. In a way, I don't even, for lack of better words, like, it's not that you necessarily lose. You just, your argument, whatever ideology, whatever you're coming on with now, is just falling flat on its face because you're no longer fulfilling the very foundation of this, which is chat, conversation,
And
two-way street.
And you're right. And the thing is, before, I would say I had a huge ego where I just want to be right all the time. And now I still want to be right, but at least now I want to give the other person the opportunity to speak, and
Yes.
I have to force myself to listen.
Yes.
And then hopefully I can go ahead and understand what they're trying to tell me, and hopefully we can exactly agree, come somewhere down in the middle.
With that, can I do a pledge personally that anything I say, because it becomes, say, actually conspiratorial or proven factually incorrect, and you have the receipts and you bring them, I will happily apologize. I will happily eat humble pie. I will happily be like, I was wrong.
Right.
And step up to that. We need more of that. Like, all this demonization, like there's just no accountability anymore in today's society, and it's a big problem.
Yeah, I agree. That's basically what frustrates me, is that, shoot, I don't care. I mean, all men are getting weaker now.
Yes.
We're getting so weak that we are so passive aggressive. We don't want to actually go and deal with the problems.
Yes.
But anxiety is like one of the biggest factors, and like everybody's always going to be on eggshells when they're dealing with the problem that they don't want to confront, and it's easier just to run away from it. But that anxiety kind of goes away after you confront that situation. Even if it hurts or bothers you, as soon as you go ahead and say what you feel like, and if the other person gets offended,
Mm-hmm.
and you're trying to explain it to them in a very professional way without trying to hurt them, then that's basically demons they're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're
Can
not,
we all recognize that right out the gate and call that for like what that is?
does that make
Yeah.
sense though?
Yes,
I
it
mean,
does.
I mean, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but if you're
Right.
getting hurt by that,
Right.
first of all, you got to go and explain what's like why,
Yeah.
and go ahead and try to understand each other, where take their perspective and see if it's aligned with yours or not.
Yes. Well, that's what's just crazy. evil's been so effective on polarizing thing, when essentially creating a weaker society, weaker individuals on the victimizations, and that's being done through everything from trying to victimize an entire race, all these tactics, so to I mean, I often would resort it to, like, man, I just don't get it. I'm sitting here scratching my head, like, at what point, like, what happened with our society to where, excuse me, as adults, we're resorting back to, like, childlike schoolyard bully tactics, to where we take too much offense, to where we can no longer just effectively communicate and walk through a scenario, defusing it, de-escalating.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what my beliefs are. All right, so when you were a kid, and well, I'm gonna ask you, when you were a kid and you went ahead and were asking questions, and like, what's one of the common things that your parents would tell you when you're asking questions? You're just nagging. Hey, I want to know this. What's something that they kind of would go and say to you?
Go play outside.
Aside from that. All right. Well, so did they ever say just because I said so? Because I said so.
Oh, yep.
Right?
Okay.
So when you hear that over and over and over,
Yes,
because
'cause I
I'm your
said
parent
so.
and I know better,
Wow.
So,
Yeah. Before.
right? What happens there? You're
But
conditioned to stay
it's
quiet.
instilling within that individual wiring to not even effectively walk through. Like, wow.
You're not asking questions. Like,
what a powerful moment.
well, no, but it happens. Like, your teachers do it to you. All your adults around you will go ahead and say, "Because I said so. Because your parents said so. Because I know better. Just do what you're told. Do your homework and just sit down and stay quietly." Like, you're not
'Cause
asking
they
questions.
know better.
Exactly.
And they're not given the time, the space, the energy, the validation, the level of concern. Holy moly.
When you're a child,
Parents, tune in to this man right now.
I know, right? and I'm not saying I'm the best parent. I'm saying I still go through my struggles and trying to go and talk to
Where
my
your
kid.
patience gets tested in the moment, to where it's just, because I said so.
Yeah, no, for
Yeah,
sure. But
but
and I was
Not
conditioned that way.
realizing the ramifications, the actual outcome and impact that has.
Well,
Wow.
a child doesn't know better than a parent, but a child has the ability to ask questions, and at that time
Right.
they're curious, so they're trying to understand. But when you're telling them sit there, be quiet, then you're conditioning them to do that. So now you're conditioning them to be kind of passive aggressive, because they're going to get the wrath if you continue nagging and asking why, right?
Yeah.
So it's I think it's very detrimental, because later
Wow.
on they become a passive aggressive person.
Wow.
So they don't want to deal with their problems. And the thing is, like, this is my theory. This is what I've been observing, and I used to do that with my kid.
That's
and
a
then
great point, Jesus. I'm gonna watch this with the journal in hand, which I did already on a couple other episodes, playing it back, and it just wow, what a cool moment. It's just excitement of refining ourselves and connecting these dots, and it's, yeah. Sorry.
I'll still get on my kid. He's 18 years old. He's 18 years old. He still has a lot of growing up to do.
Right.
I still have a lot of growing up to do. And the thing is, now I have a different type of child or different type of teenager or grown up, because his development's more mature than what it used to be before. So I have to figure out how to handle it. But every time we go into some kind of discussion, I'm trying to ask him what he sees, so like that I understand him and we're
You're
both on the same page.
Following him, your child, you're showing the level of concern and affection and love, and seeking to understand his state, how he views it right then, because that could obviously help you bring light to.
Well, his
his
feelings
eyes.
count. Like I
Yes.
have to consider him as well, and not
Yes.
just me, because I know better.
Yes.
But I mean, that's how society's
Wow.
basically come up. I
That's
mean,
cool.
in school, you have to be quiet and do
Yeah.
your homework. You have to sit down, keep your head low.
Yeah.
Men are just learning how to do that. They're not learning how to go and actually speak out. Go ahead and be aggressive. Like, and aggressive's not a bad thing. Like, there's
No.
a balance of that,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So a lot of times, and that's the problem. People that are passive aggressive, unfortunately, keep so much stuff inside that they're not being truthful to themselves, but they're not being truthful to other people either. So then that's where mistrust comes in, because if you're keeping stuff from the other person that's bothering you, well, how are you guys going to, like, then resentment comes in. And when that resentment comes in, there might be some kind of backlash or some kind of um, uh, retaliation.
Mm.
Instead of actually, if I have a problem with you, I'm going to confront you about it. And if I confront you
Please
about it,
do.
you're most likely going to respect me because now you know where I'm coming from, and vice versa. I'm going to respect you if you have an issue with me, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but I know where you're coming from, and I don't have to fear me getting backstabbed,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. To address that, you can't be sweeping things under the rug. That's all to our detriment. Man, that's yeah, beautifully said. Why are we so threatened in being confronted with words? I love that childhood saying. I don't know why it's been popping up more and more recent to me in my head. The just a silly sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And as
Yeah.
adults, like, oh my gosh, like if you could grasp that in these conversations, why are you getting in a tiss? Why are you getting all testy? Why are you getting all offended? It's like these words literally like they're physically not having this impact, but you're choosing to absorb it to where it literally feels like a knife's in your back. Why are you programmed that way? Why have I been programmed that way? It's crazy.
Yeah.
We just walk around with it too. We'll be weeks later, months later. You're still on that.
Yeah. No, but you're
Yeah.
right. You're right. And that's what sabotages relationships.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, someone's resentful but doesn't want to say anything about it, so they'll get them a different way.
Mm.
Yeah. I feel all right. So I used to get disciplined when I was a kid, and harsher than I would prefer, harsher than what I believe should have been. But at the same time, it's like there was more structure back then and even before that, generations, like there were consequences. Now you don't have those, right?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So now it's if you go ahead and misbehave, or you're not being held accountable for that. I think I'm rambling. I think I'm breaking away.
Bro, no. This is what we do. Every time I see you, man, we ramble.
You're right.
This is what we do, man. And that's why it's just off the cuff. There's literally no script. Like this is just awesome. Just hanging out. And this even surprised me. I was exhausted. It's wild. You just have like your own gifts and just showing up here, man, is like fired me up. I was exhausted today, but so to just be excited to hang out and chat, this is what it's all about.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, every time we talk, we always have deep conversations, and I appreciate it.
Every
I
time.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
So it's good that I have someone else I can bounce things off of and see if we're on the same page.
Man, I just love how humble you were with all those things, and as a man, as a father, being able to say, I'm not perfect, and you're ebbing and flowing and trying to seek that better path in the midst, during the midst, after, just at all times, because it's a forever pursuit.
Yeah, but I literally, all right, so obviously I'm still growing and still trying to learn. And there's a lot of stuff I'm going to get wrong, but I feel I'm more confident now than what I was before. And I had to fall a lot of times to actually understand that,
Mm,
or understand where I'm at.
yeah.
And I think those falls are actually a blessing in disguise. If those things didn't happen,
Yeah.
then I would have never been on a better page.
Mm. They become blessings, don't they? Or challenges. In the moment, no, they suck.
Yeah, yeah. Now, first of all, I don't like Stephen Colbert. I think you know what I'm talking about, right? He's a late night host,
Okay.
and
I've heard the name.
he was funny, but he's a very left lost
Oh wow.
cat.
All right.
Anyways, there was something that was very profound that he said, and he said it in front of he was having an interview with Anderson Cooper, and I might be blotching this, but what he said was like they asked him if he once before said that suffering was a gift, and he said yes. If without suffering you have no life, without life you have no suffering. So it was like you're going to go through struggles and those should be welcoming, those should be like
Yeah.
because you're learning from that, and if you don't have that it's such a bland life
Right.
where basically I mean who doesn't want to go and fall and then pick themselves back up, push harder and
Right.
eventually achieve that.
Guys, this is all coming from someone that even has like your own health battles and whatnot. Like that's the one in a way I find an exception to an extent. But then again, even reflecting back to like with how the healing's even been going with my own health battles, I'm starting to harbor more and more gratitude for even that walk because it's a bigger issue than we all know. So it's like, oh wow, more work could be done than like helping others, and so so it set me on a pretty cool path. But there is a point though where man, if you don't have your health, it's hard to your quality of life could be impacted enough to where to even have that perspective of challenge accepted, and you're just so wrapped up in the illness itself or those type of challenges that so it does kind of become a scenario where yeah, there's a lot of life challenges and situations I wouldn't necessarily wish upon anyone, but that in particular is like a whole addition that would be nice to bring back down, like because life itself is challenging enough, right?
Right.
So I don't know. Just I guess one of them things I'm on fire for. I don't know if you even want to touch on some of your personal things, but maybe as a teaser, because it would be nice to have some show notes. It would be nice to, I don't know, yeah,
Wait, like what? I'm lost.
with some of your like health battles and stuff.
Oh well, I mean, shoot, for years and years and years, I used to be a huge runner, uh, and right now, for the last couple of years, I got injured where basically I'm dealing with tendinopathy and sciatic nerve issues. So trying to get back into it because I should, at my age, I shouldn't even be dealing with these things, but I think it's because I abused my body, where now it's like I'm learning to appreciate it more and take the time to actually healing it right. So hopefully I'll get back into actually being able to do all the activities I used to. Just finding all that information. I've gone to PT, and when you go to PT, they put you on a little regimen, but it's frustrating because
Your progress has been slow
it has.
and very timely and costly.
Y-
Maybe say those things again you're struggling with. I wonder if there's someone out there eventually that has dealt with that really had some supplement or some something or another that really helped them break through.
the tendinopathy and
Tendinopathy.
sciatic pain, sciatic
Okay.
nerve,
Yeah. Because we paralleled in a way
sciatica.
where you're just dealing pretty much with inflammation and tension like throughout your whole body.
Well, every day I have to stretch, and It's called this floss gliding or glide floss, and like I got to continue
Mm.
breaking those trigger points and tight fascia. It's a pain in the butt, but I little by little I'm getting better. Just it's such a long process, and uh, again, you go to PT. They give you a program, but it's not the same for everybody. So books, research, doctors. I've been going over and over. Hopefully, I can get back to normal, and I feel like I'm 90% better. That last 10% is that hump I'm trying to go over. So almost there.
Mm.
But I mean,
I'm sitting here thinking of doctors I know, and they done a lot of like blood work for you. I mean, how's the diagnosis been?
um,
Kind of.
you go to a doctor, and the doctor will go and send you to a physical therapist, and the physical therapist will put you on a plan, and then they try to give you, I think it's PRP, or cortisone shots,
Oh wow.
and the cortisone it some of those things like a cortisone shot is like a band-aid, so it's not fixing the problem. It's just
Right.
going ahead and
Man.
so I mean, again, I'm very optimistic. I'm getting better. Just hopefully I can get back to normal. I can actually start running again, do my marathons,
Yeah.
do like just be active like I used to. Because we go to the gym all the time, but being at the gym, you're limited. You know what I mean?
Right. You're a believer in prayer.
Yeah, definitely.
Guys, let's keep Jesus and his healing journey in prayers. That would be a huge blessing. I just randomly asked that for you. You cool with that?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm glad now I am. I mean, before it was questioned it.
Right. I mean,
Those, go ahead. Those struggles helped me get there, and some very less positive people put me in that place. But if it
yeah.
wasn't for that, I would never been on that. My dad was atheist and my mom was Catholic, but I was more leaning towards the atheist side.
Right. Well, 37 minutes and we got time. We can go in there. We could dive into that. You want to go there? Get some of Jesus's testimony a bit on the path that led you. Because, yeah, I feel you there. I wasn't always a believer. And, well, it's like I was instilled. I was grateful for upbringing because I was brought up in a church, right? And I'm grateful for that education, even though I feel like, oh wow, I even have like church scars and certain things, whereas it's forced down your throat. This is the way, and almost through fear and these other things, like yeah, and it just had this opposite effect for me and pushed me the other way. But um, it's just interesting through my challenges and whatnot too. But yeah, if you want to dive into that, bro, let's go there. I mean, it'll be back to back to back kind of testimonies here on a muzzle, but ultimately, above all, this platform, all glory to God. Like that's interesting. I mean, of course, I'm gonna naturally navigate almost. I don't think I navigated anything. I don't know. We'll see when we play this back whether this was completely. I mean, it's not scripted. I swear. I swear. They're like, yeah, well, you can tell. You don't need to voice that.
I know, right? We're wandering off to different subjects.
But I mean, that's just the beauty of it. Like, there's a part we want to be mindful and value people's time and have just awesome content, but also just real life, real people.
I think I think everybody I think everyone has a story to tell for sure.
Yep.
Just having a conversation like this kind of helps it come out more. If you and for you, would say take a mic to certain places and start interviewing people
Oh,
there.
interesting. On the go. Yeah, something to think about. Yeah. My mind's always going a million miles an hour now, especially with the level of healing and such, because it's like, man, There's been some pretty generous folk with their time, finances, connections, things along those lines that have greatly benefited me. Bringing in the spiritual challenges too.
Well, for spiritual challenges, it's we're at war right now, and I think that's why it's so strong right now. That's why I think you're getting that calling
Mm,
even more,
mm,
right?
right.
I think there's a lot of
Yeah.
wolves in sheep's clothing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's trying to push you off that trail, but you have to be observant of what and who is actually trying to guide you. Or
Right.
so yeah, definitely. Again, it's spiritually. I want to say for the last 8 years. I don't know. I can't remember exactly, but uh, I had a I fell on my feet and I fell on my feet and then I realized, who was there for me.
Mm.
And Jesus was there and actually spoke to me finally, and I was like, you know what? All right, I'm ready to listen. And that was in my mid 30s. Mid
Wow.
30s? Yeah, around there.
Like, can you be a little more descriptive, or on this you falling on your feet,
Did I say fall on my feet?
falling?
Did I say fall on my feet or just fall on my knees? Is that correct?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, falling to the knees. Okay. Wow. Okay, so it was real. I haven't heard any audible or anything. It's just feelings, right? Like impressions. That's that's a gift, man. And I mean, no wonder, like, because you have helped me on my journey too. These chats we've had have, I don't know, must like given me strength to an extent to take it to the next level and take it serious too. So you've been a good example for me.
Um, I think we all go through those struggles, but it helps when we know we're not alone. You know what I mean? Like we
Right.
have someone else that we can count on to help us. And you've done the same for me. So I appreciate all your help. Just it's nice to know that we're all fighting that same battle
Mm-hmm.
and we got to hold each other accountable. So basically, yeah, I mean, you've done a lot for me, and I appreciate you like as always. And it's these talks that we have. It helps me have a realization and saying, hey, there is a lot of hope. There is a lot of good. There are good people.
Mm. Yeah. And that's
And our friends, I mean, we got some great friends.
we do.
Shout out to Seth and Brittany.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, now they have to listen to it. I don't know if they've listened to a single one, but shout out Seth, Brittany. Yep.
No,
Now they
they said they listened to a few. I don't know
Oh,
since then,
cool.
but yeah, I'm pretty sure they have.
Oh, they're gonna be psyched now. We should this should have been the last thing we said because now they gotta listen to the whole thing. No,
Right?
that's what we're gonna do with this. In fact, considering this, I'm pretty sure I'll make a quick video maybe tomorrow just about this, so we could title it about this and hash out any final details. But why is my phone not ringing? You're popular.
No, no, it's
Is that important?
no. Well, it's the boy, but I'm thinking he's just got home.
Well, make sure. I mean, I don't.
Well, he
This
just
was.
texted me right now, or he's
We're,
texting me right now.
you're good. No emergency.
No.
Okay. Well, you got a message for the listeners? I mean, you could be, you know, it would be cool to challenge them to click the thing and let's fire up the community. And can you hear me on the headset? Tell them to let's kick off this community, guys.
Well,
Don't be scared about the comments. Let's
what's every YouTuber say? Like at the end of their show, they're like, "You want to click the button?"
subscribe, follow, click the icon. Not just even on whatever you're looking at, like whether it's YouTube, because we're on YouTube, we're on Rumble, and I don't know how long we're gonna be on YouTube, to be honest, because we're hitting some truth bombs, right? And some very polarized narratives and controversial topics that I imagine, so people have their guards so up that, like, I'm offended. Like, there's only so many freaking complaints I think YouTube is gonna probably deal with till they censor us. So just know, YouTubers, like, we're on Rumble, but we're also on all these other podcast apps, right? So there's all the links. Check descriptions. We're gonna start. Yeah, that's one we'll pop in here through Podbeam. It's actually pretty cool. That's our hosting site for this podcast, and they gave Unmuzzled a page where you don't need any apps to play the episodes. It's all the audio versions, mind you, but it has all the active links to like Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podbeam, like, and all you do is click on that link and it will automatically take you. So you could just go there as a quick check. Oh, I have this one already. Click on that. It'll take you to the Unmuzzled. You could follow there. We would obviously be blessed to get that pool of subscribers and followers, what have you, on all these platforms, right? It's just going to help speed up the impact we're going for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're growing. You're growing fast.
Oh, thanks, man. Well, it isn't about me. It's not.
No, I think this is an awesome podcast. Dude, I love you, dude. Like it's I think this thing will help other people. Just
Thank
because
you.
it's allowing people to same thing, speak their feelings,
Right.
not be ashamed. Go ahead and actually put their heart on their sleeves as well,
Right.
right?
Yeah, we're slowly growing our legs. It's going to take a while to fully catch the stride and have enough content to where people are like, oh, is this something? And that's where we value feedback, because we want to hit the nail on the head and really move in the most effective, like organic way to helping.
You know what? Sorry.
No.
Well, first of all, I
What do you
apologize
got?
for this right here. You want?
Don't apologize. I'm fine. Apologize to the
I know.
listeners.
I'm sorry, guys. You know what? I just thought of it. Like I was part of the growth thing, or actually being a believer was. I think before that, I think my ego and I
Mm.
feel that I had a percentage of narcissism that was actually influencing me in the incorrect way. As soon as I dropped those, then I learned to appreciate more things. But again, by doing that, I hurt people, and
Mm.
now I matured more to actually want to go and actually do the right thing. Again, we're growing, right?
Yes. I'm sorry for all the hurt to the people.
Yeah.
You kidding me? I also have been a man with a pride and an ego and living narcissistically in my own ways as well, right? It does take a level of just humbling yourself and a level of meekness to just realize, wow, because I view it as one of the biggest character defects when you feel you've arrived on anything, when you have it know-it-all syndrome to an extent, because I don't care how you can get pretty darn good and master something, but there's still always something more to learn. Like I like how Socrates actually put it. Um, there's one good knowledge and one evil ignorance. And that in and of itself, you really sit on that, meditate, let it marinate. Like it actually kind of starts uncovering what we were just even touching on like narcissism and selfishness, self-serving, like tendencies, looking inward versus the knowledge side of things. Where, hey, meek, humble, always learning, seeking to understand, grow, refine. like all this beautiful, right? So that's where it's like there's one good and there's one evil.
Yeah, 100%. I feel that again, same thing. If it wasn't for those situations, it sucks because you hurt people along the way.
Yeah.
But if you have to learn from that, you have to learn from that. It's not like everybody does, but you after that you got to correct your ways and actually go move forward, and hopefully there's a moment where you actually can redeem yourself, but it
Mm.
doesn't always happen.
Mm.
So so um I don't know. It's a never ending battle as always, as everything
Mhm.
else, but at the same time it's like my goal is to get better. My goal is to be a good role model to my son. My goal is to be help other people if I can. And again, I would consider myself as still immature,
You're
and I
doing a
would like
darn good job. Don't let it go to your head. Like you've been a great impact to me. I'm sure even in this moment, like I can see it in your eyes, I can feel it in your energy. Like yeah, you're not a perfect dad. Duh, no one is, right? But you see that, you're acknowledging that. That's where I have more optimism and excitement, and like your son's blessed to have you.
no thanks,
Is
bro.
that, man? You kidding me? Like that's awesome. Um, we don't have to end. I was just like,
We could always do part 2.
well, guys, that's where I'm having Jesus on here again and again. But it would be cool. Like, what would be the next conversation you'd like to have? Should it be on the religious side? Should it be on the father? You know, should it be some of your health challenges? Like, what? It'd be cool to get some engagement. We'll set zero expectation. That way we don't set ourselves up for disappointment. But no, literally, it would be really cool to get some feedback and kick off this community. And we could seek some direction from the listeners on getting to know you.
You know what? It's nice because if the listeners actually throw their feedback, like you said, then it again. I don't think winging is a bad thing.
No,
I
not
think
at
that's
all.
more natural, right?
Right, dude, and you are a natural, bro. Just make a few more errors next time, so I don't want to ban any fans for trying to make you take over this platform.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm not gonna ban no one. Are you kidding me?
No, you did great. I appreciate it. I'm probably gonna go and watch myself do all those errors.
Cool. Yeah. Well, we'll end with a little jingle. Guys, bless you. Thank you so much for joining just this off the cuff conversation. We were not planning on that. You're just like, dude, I want to pop by and check out the digs, right?
Yep, that was it.
But here we were sitting, and it's just like, just go ahead and just chat. But anyway, if we end up posting this, which I think we will, God bless you. Any last things to say?
Say no to drugs.
There we go. There's our challenge. Let's get an ending note. We love you guys. Till next time.